What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe at No Days Off DFS here to bring the NBA slate breakdown for the 8-game NBA slate we got today. If you guys are new here, you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content I'm putting out over here on the channel. And drop a like on this video if it helps you guys win some money. Last night's recap. Last night was probably, not even probably, was ridiculously one of the craziest slash just it's hard to fathom and even understand last night. So if you guys lived under a rock, a couple of things happened last night. We had some fights in the NBA. We had some players that were chalk that legit went out there and did not a goddamn thing. Yes, Robert Covington, I'm talking about you. Robert Covington gets a start, close to 50% on last night, went out there and gave us 6.75 fantasy points over on DraftKings. Horrible, abysmal, not a damn thing was done. Taylor Maladon, player I really hate clicking on Taylor's name, and I still clicked it anyway. Played Taylor Maladon, went out there, barely got to 10 fantasy points, got there, then had some turnovers, dropped down to 9.25 fantasy points. And of course these are players that I consider value. Of course, you know, thrust into the starting role. They should be able to go out there, give us some type of production, but nothing at all. Chris Paul gets a start. Well, I was pretty high on Chris Paul. Went out there, a subpar game, 34 fantasy points. Really expecting more from him. And maybe he could have had more if Klay Thompson was actually out there on the court to get some more assists for him, things like that. Draymond Green wasn't a dumbass and got himself ejected. That right there, I expect Draymond to be suspended for a couple of games after that one last night, if you guys didn't see that. The only chalk and value that went off was Shem Penny, who, for real, if the game didn't blow out, and if he didn't stumble into like 3 steals, 3 blocks and stuff like that, he wasn't going to pay off value, because I promise you, dude was wide open and just missing some really good shots. So all in all, last night, some mixed results. Minimum cash, well, not even minimum cash. I cashed a little bit, got a little bit of my money back, didn't get too much back on DraftKings, but hey, that's the name of the game. That's why we do this stuff every day, trying to go ahead and cash out. Hopefully you guys were able to take some of the stuff that I gave out, put out, and was actually able to cash and make some money yesterday. I know that we did pretty good on some of the props that we put out. I put out a 6 pick and I put out a power 2 over on Prize Picks for the Shea Gilchrist Alexander Taco. My boy France came through, which I covered him on the stream in regards to his rebounds. He killed that shit, had 5 in the first half, and then he went over in the fourth quarter, got, I want to say, 3 more rebounds, ended up with 8. So that was an easy day cash. On the 6 pick that I put out, sadly, unfortunately, Michael Porter Jr. was not able to rebound. Like, I really shouldn't have put him into my 6 pick. When I was looking back at it, I was like, damn, I really probably should have actually put the Joker instead, which of course Joker killed his rebound prop. But you live and learn with some of the stuff. So almost hit a 6 pick last night. Definitely gonna go right back to it again and try to figure it out. So with that being said, let's go ahead. Let's break this stuff down. If you guys are looking for more content, more stuff such as my cheat sheet, core plays, prop play listing, stuff like that, check the link down in the description for the Dub Club. Today it should be going behind the paywall, so if you guys were not able to join us for the free 1 month that you get, definitely still check it out, sign up. There's 2 different tiers that you can go ahead and join up for, so definitely check that out. The link for that is down in the description below, and let's go ahead and let's make some money. All right, starting out with the injury report, we got some injury news that we do have to pay attention to that is going to affect the slate. First game on the slate, we have our poor Washington Wizards taking on what honestly wasn't even sure if it was the Dallas Mavericks I was watching play last night, who went out there and they played like complete dog shit. But the Dallas Mavericks, they're on the slate again. Right now, Kyrie is questionable due to right foot sprain, so definitely want to keep an eye on that. Not too sure if he's going to be in or out, but definitely want to pay attention to that, because if Kyrie's ruled out and you got Luka going up against the Wizards, we already know where the chalk is going to be going to. And that's going to be Luka going up against the Washington Wizards, which is kind of a halfway no-brainer if you're looking at the slate. Outside of that, no real news to report over there for Dallas. Same thing for Washington over there on that side. Before I keep going, I'm sorry, guys. My voice is a bit raspy. Your boy is a little bit under the weather, so if I sound more raspy than normal, I do apologize. Over here for New York Knicks, RJ Barrett, he's a game time decision, but I do fully expect for him to play. I think that's just precautionary. Over here for Atlanta, Trae Young, he is back. He celebrated the birth of his child yesterday, so he should be playing and good to go for tonight. For Boston, Jaylen Brown, KP, and Quetta, they're all on the injury report. Jaylen Brown did not participate in shoot around, so if Jaylen Brown is going to be out, we're going to see someone else thrusted into the starting lineup. With that being said, of course, there will be more uses for Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, and Derek White. Definitely want to pay attention, because if KP is out, that's definitely going to open up a lot of usage and a lot if both of these guys were to miss, and we're more than likely going to want to get one of these pieces over here from Boston, especially going up against the 76ers, who we know that they are on the second part of their back-to-back. Tobias Harris, I want to say he should be playing tonight. Joel Embiid, game time decision. He was a game time yesterday. I do expect for him to play, but if Embiid is going to be out, then same thing like yesterday, Paul Reed will become really great. really great value. Again, hopefully he wouldn't pull a Robert Covington on us. This right here, I'll save it for when I get over to the actual breakdown over there on DraftKings in regards to Rocco on tonight. Milwaukee taking on Toronto. It's already been noted that Giannis is going to be out, so we should see more than likely Bobby Portis slid into the starting lineup. Bobby, good fantasy point per minute player, especially with Crowder out. His minutes are pretty much going to be solidified. He should play at least 30 minutes tonight, and it's going to be somewhat a tough matchup going up against Toronto Raptors, but still, nonetheless, he should be able to put a pretty decent number over there for us. And then, of course, Damian Lillard, he is back for tonight's slate. For Toronto, Dennis Schroeder, he is a game time decision. Hopefully, he does play, but OG Gary Trent, they're trending to being out on tonight. Same old for them. For Orlando, we already got news that Markelle Fultz and Wendell Carter Jr. are going to be out. For the Bulls, Patrick Williams, he is questionable to play, but should be playing. He's playing off the bench. Alex Caruso, game time decision in regards to him. DeMar DeRozan has already been ruled out, so we are going to be seeing Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic probably be chalk plays, especially going up against Orlando. Decent team. Vooch, this is his former team. He should be able to go out there and handle Goga and Mortz. Over here for Minnesota, the team that got choked out last night, Rudy Gobert. Back on the slate again, no real news report for them. Same thing for the Phoenix Suns. We do know that Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant are going to finally all play together today. So we will see all of them together. Eric Gordon, he is trending to playing on tonight. Going down here to our late night hammers, we got the Kings. Alex and Trey Lyles, they are out for the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James, he is questionable to play. So definitely, of course, keep your eye on that. AD is expected to play, but we really need to know if Bron is going to be in or out. I really would like to know because I did have Bron as some of my props that I was looking at for today. So really want to know if Bron's going to be in. Over here for Cleveland, we got word that Darius Garland, he's going to be out. So we've already seen the same song and dance already. Donovan Mitchell, we know what it's going to be. Karis LeVert's going to be the starting lineup. So it's nothing new over there. Over here for Portland, Brogdon, he's already been ruled out. And then Shaden Sharp, he's a game time decision, but is expected to play. If you guys don't got an account over here on DraftKings, go ahead, check the link down in the description below so you guys get that deposit match bonus and join your boy over here on the King. All right, guys, so going ahead, starting the breakdown, looking at it, I was originally just going to go through and do my tiers in regards to value, studs, blah, 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 blah. But looking at the time, I actually have enough time to possibly go game by game and go ahead and just give a quick synopsis over each team and plays that we should be looking at for them. Starting out with Dallas Mavericks, we already kind of know where the usage and everything comes from. It's going to come from Luka. It's going to come from Kyrie. After a letdown last night and the fact that Luka, he only played, I want to say 20-ish minutes, same thing for Kyrie. It was a blowout last night for them. So I would expect for them to hopefully play their full allotment of minutes, and this is definitely a bounce back spot, especially going up against a weak Washington Wizards team. I'm not going to worry too much in regards to a blowout. I do think that after watching Washington play, they have somewhat enough of a talent to keep the game within reach, especially going up against Dallas, where I'm really only be worried about Luka and Kyrie primarily for this team. Yeah, Derek Jones Jr. and Williams, they both look pretty decent, great. They're fitting into the roles over there, but mainly it's going to be Kyrie and Luka would be the two I want to pay attention to. If Kyrie is ruled out, then Luka kind of is a no-brainer, and you can look at second fiddles such as Derek Jones Jr., who's played very well since being in the starting lineup for them. Hardy off the bench would be another player you can look to. Tim Hardaway Jr. will be another one, but mainly it will be Luka over here for them. Over here on the Washington Wizards side, I'm really interested in Kyle Kuzma over here. Grades out as a really great play, a good spot for him. We've seen power forwards. They've actually had pretty decent games going up against Dallas Mavericks. Zion, Kawhi Leonard, Siakam, Paulo, all of them put up 35-plus fantasy points going up against them. Kyle Kuzma sitting at 8-1, not a bad price tag for a decent stud in a good spot. We know the usage that he's going to command and have whenever he is out there on the court. A lot of the shots that he takes goes up, stuffs the stat sheets in multiple ways besides just getting us some scoring. He can actually rebound and do everything else out there. Outside of that, I will actually have to have some interest in Tyus Jones. As long as his minutes are actually solidified, he's going to play his minutes. His minutes have been up and down, but if you're going to tell me Tyus is at least going to play about 25 or close to 30 minutes, I don't mind that at 5'7". And then Deni Avdija has looked really well over his last couple of games. Honestly, going back to his last 5 has at least given us 20-plus fantasy points in all 3 of these games, playing 30-ish minutes out there. Looked very good and is improving every single game. Defense is there as well, so I don't mind taking a stab at Deni Avdija sitting there at the 6'2". I know it can be a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe you want to get up to Poole, take a GPP chance on that, but yeah, it's called GPP for a reason right there when it comes down to Jordan Poole. Going over to the Milwaukee taking on Toronto. For this one, like we said, Giannis is going to be out. Really, I would say Dame, of course, consideration. You could definitely decide if you want to play him as one of your studs going up against the Knicks. Not a bad spot for him. Bobby Portis, he should be filling in. Definitely don't mind him. Chris Middleton still isn't playing 20-plus minutes at all, so I'm not even going to mess with that. Not even going to worry about that. Brook Lopez will be one that I will say I think people might forget about, but if you look back last season, Brook Lopez, whenever he did play without Giannis, he did get a couple more shots, a couple more touches. We know that he can definitely drain it from 3, but his rebounds also go up, and we know he brings on the defensive side as well. Going up against Toronto Raptors, who do actually play with some size. Brook Lopez should be needed out there. Definitely can't stretch the floor. And I don't mind going to Brook Lopez as a cheapish mid-tier type play at 5'4". Really great if you want to get some exposure to the Milwaukee Bucks outside of Dame and outside of Bobby Portis, who a lot of people are going to actually flock to. Now, we should also see an uptick in minutes for players like Malik Beasley. He should definitely see some extra shots and things like that as well, especially with no Jay Crowder and with no Giannis as well. And then Beauchamp as well should see uptick as well. Over here for the Toronto Raptors, on this side, really, it's just going to be the normal Scotty Barnes be the main guy, especially if Dennis is out. Then the ball is really going to be in Scotty's hand. The playmaking, the assist duties and stuff like that for Scotty will skyrocket. And somehow he just always finds a way to go ahead and get up there at least to 40-plus fantasy points. Had one down game going up against a tough Boston team. Outside of that, he's been playing very well this season. So definitely do not mind. In that first game, 29 minutes. 29. He dropped 51.5 fantasy points going up against him, 21 points, a couple of rebounds, and definitely was assisting playmaking. But if Dennis was to miss, really do have a lot of interest in Scotty Barnes. Outside of that, maybe you could take a stab at Siakam again if you want to go there. If Dennis misses, I know Siakam, his assists was one of the plays that I was really on already for the day. So if Dennis was to miss, I definitely would have a more uptick interest in that as well. As a possible play. Over here for the Knickerbockers taking on the Atlanta Hawks. As always for me, Randall, Brunson, especially if RJ was to miss, we're going to want to get one of these two guys. Primarily, I will say I do like Julius Randle. He should have the matchup. He should be able to go out here and get whatever he wants. And like we said before, he's taking a ton of shots. And as long as he's making these shots, he's going to give us the fantasy point production. Kind of a safe-ish floor to me. He's at least going to give us 30+. I say 35, close to 40-ish fantasy points. So I don't mind if we were to land right here on Julius Randle. And we have seen opposing power forwards going up against Atlanta. They've done pretty decent. Those that have had decent usage rates, Paolo, Highsmith, Jalen Williams, Zion, Kyle Kuzma, Karl Anthony Towns, they've all given us at least close to 35+ fantasy points. And a player like Julius Randle, who does have a really good usage and can rebound and actually play make, really do like the spot for him to be able to actually have a pretty good game at his price tag. Outside of that, if RJ was to miss, definitely will have some interest in Hart, who should go ahead and be slid into the starting lineup again. His price sitting at 5.7, not bad. But if you want to come down for GPPs, Iman quickly sitting here at 5.6. That's another one you can go ahead and take a chance on. We know his minutes should be there, playing about 26ish minutes. If his shot is falling, he'll definitely produce and give us a really good number. Look at that, 1 of 10 last game. So don't even fault him for getting 18 fantasy points. He should at least be more towards a 25 to 30 fantasy points, as long as that shot is falling for him. Over here on the other side, if you want to believe in narratives, we got the baby game for Trae Young. Welcome the birth of his child yesterday, so I definitely could always take a stab at a Trae Young, especially any player whenever they come back from having a baby or seeing the birth of their baby. They normally come out and they pop off whenever they're out on the court. So definitely I will put Trae Young as consideration for GPP standards in regards to that. Outside of that, they are on a back-to-back. Not really messing with anybody too much over here on Atlanta Hawks. You can take a stab at Sadiq Bey like we always have. Bogdanovich should go back to the bench. Not too worried about that. DeAndre Hunter, that was his one good game that he's had. He hasn't really given us anything too much on the season. Clint Capella, not going to mess with him there with Mitch Robinson down there for the center position. So really not too much, except for just Trae Young as a GPP option that we could possibly go to over there for the Atlanta Hawks. Going down to Boston, taking on the 76ers. Now, again, like I said, if Jaylen Brown is going to miss, which he did miss shoot around, so I would expect probably he's going to be out tonight, we're going to have to take some consideration into Jason Tatum and Jrue Holiday. When it comes down to it, Jason Tatum, the shots are going to be there, the production is going to be there for him, and we have seen opposing power forwards. They've done okay. Tatum, he's already gone up against his matchup already this season and dropped 51 fantasy points. I'm not too scared of Roko's defense, not with a superstar such as Jason Tatum, especially when you're going to tell me there's going to be no Jaylen Brown. There's a possibility of no Kristaps Porzingis. I'm definitely not going to mind that. Usage is going to be there. The shots will be there for him. Definitely in play and in consideration. Now, if you're wanting to come off of Tatum and you want to go a little bit cheaper and still get someone that's going to have a uptick and a boost in regards to what they can do, Derek White, he will see a bit more shots be out there for him. Maybe he can get a couple more rebounds and things like that. We know he has the production to give us at least a 40 to 50 fantasy point type game. I definitely do not mind going to Derek White. And then, of course, Jrue Holiday, the point guard, out there for them. The playmaking duties, they'll still be there for him, but he will have to take an uptick more in regards to scoring and actually having to help Tatum in regards to scoring out there for him. The rebounds, they'll be there, but everything else that he does, and plus the defense, if he can actually lock down Tyrese Maxey, it'll be really interesting to see. But definitely do not mind going to Jrue Holiday over there if Brown and Porzingis are going to be out. Over here on the other side for Philly, we already know that they are going to be without Kelly Oubre Jr. Tobias Harris, he popped up on the injury report, but he is probable. He suffered an injury yesterday. In yesterday's game, was evaluated for concussion, blah, blah, blah. He came back. So definitely interesting to see if Tobias Harris is going to play. Joel Embiid, I don't know if they're going to be cautious in regards to him about that hip. But if he is going to go ahead and play in his first game going up against Boston, 37 minutes, he dropped 54.5 fantasy points. I don't mind him, especially if Porzingis is going to be out. JoJo should be able to go out there and get whatever he wants against whoever they try to put out there on him. I'm not too scared of Al Horford or anything. That defense, that's not going to worry me at all in regards to what Joel Embiid will be able to go out there and do. Now, we already know Rocco, he's going to get the start. He's sitting at 4-6. This is the perfect spot, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. You go back to what didn't work yesterday. If he's going to start, everyone's going to flock off of it. They're not going to want to play him after he just burned everybody yesterday, gave us 6.75 fantasy points. Go back to it. You play it again. More than likely, this will be the game he drops 15, 20 fantasy points. That's literally how it also works inside this game. So definitely, you can always have him in consideration. Outside of that, if Tobias Harris and Joel Embiid were to miss, we already know this dude right here, he's going to take all the shots. He's going to do everything he can to keep this team in the game and to win. And I do not mind going Tyrese Maxey. 39 minutes against the Celtics the first time. Dropped 50.75 fantasy points. That's enough said. Mic drop. Going over here to Orlando, taking on the Chicago Bulls. For them, of course, main staples, as always, going to be my boy Paolo, Franz Wagner. Bounce back spot, I really do feel like, for Jalen Suggs. He left last night's game. I want to say he got injured in the first half for a little bit, came back, still was able to give us a 20-ish fantasy point production that he has been consistent with. I don't mind going right back to him and taking a stab, looking at Jalen Suggs. But if I am playing anything, it'll be Paolo, Franz Wagner will be the main two I go to. And then outside of that, Goga, he is getting the start, but he is a bit more expensive than what Mo Wagner is. And Mo, coming off the bench, the dude just constantly goes out there and produces. And if you're looking for a value play on today's slate, I do not mind coming out here to Mo, sitting at 4.8, can go out there and at least get you 20 fantasy points, as he has shown that he is able to do time and time again. And I will continue to stick with that staple of just playing Mo Wagner over playing Goga right now, because even though Goga is starting, he's not really seeing deep starter type minutes. And the production, it's far and in between right now, kind of what I'm getting from Goga, when I know for sure I'm going to at least get 22 to 25 fantasy points from Wagner, who's sitting at a pretty good price tag right there. Over here for the Chicago Bulls, like I said, we know DeRozan, he's going to be out. I really do like the spot for Zach LaVine and for Vooch. They're going to have all the usage. A couple more shots will come their way. But Zach should be in a really great spot going up against the Magic, where we have seen opposing small forwards / shooting guards have had decent games. Mikal Bridges had a pretty good game going up against them. Kyrie, Austin Reeves, Taylor Horn-Tucker, all these guys had pretty good games. And we know Zach, he's a shooter. He's looking to get traded from the Bulls anyway. So what better way to go ahead and ride your stock before the season gets too deep and you can get traded and get a deal dealt for you. So definitely do like Zach LaVine sitting at 7.7. It's a really great price tag for him. But he will be more owned than Vucevic just for the price, the $100 difference that you get right there, and the fact that center position is typically a spot where people can reserve for more of the studs or just come down for some value and not the guys in between. So Vooch will be probably the forgotten option, and everyone's going to flock to Zach, but definitely do not mind Vooch. Again, this is his former team that he is going out here playing against. And let me see, looking at his game logs and what he's done, he's actually done pretty good going up against Orlando, playing against them last season. 250 plus fantasy point games, and in one game he dropped 36 going up against them. So definitely an option that you can go to here, especially with no DeMar DeRozan out there playing. Milwaukee taking on the Suns. This game, I think I'm really just going to enjoy it from a fan perspective, especially since it'll be the first time we actually get to see the big three go out here and play. The Timberwolves, they stood on business yesterday to handling the Warriors and all the debacle and stuff that happened right there. Karl-Anthony Towns looked pretty good. Anthony Edwards looked good. Rudy Gobert, all of them played very well. Not really too interested specifically in anybody over here. If I am going to take something, it'll be between Towns and Gobert. One of these guys, if I land on one of them, I don't mind, don't hate it, but none of them are a must. Really no value that sticks out for me over here off of their bench or anything of the sort, so not really going to force or focus on too much from them. This might be one of those games that I kind of just cross out and not worry too much about. Going over here to the other side with Book, Beal, and Durant, we kind of course, want to see how they play. Out of all of them, Beal probably will be owned just because he is the cheapest out of the big three. Devin Booker, you can definitely take a stab there and play Devin Booker since he is 10-3. No one is going to want to come up here and play this price tag for a 10-3 Devin Booker coming off of a calf injury and more than likely might not even play 32, 35 minutes. But I cannot deny the production that the dude has given when he's been on the court and actually has played in 2 games this season. So really great GPP option. more than likely will be lower owned. When I'm looking at ownership projections right now, Book is projected for a 2% ownership. So this is definitely a spot where we can buy low and get that pop-off game before everyone else flocks to Devin Booker on the slate. So definitely do not mind taking a stab at Devin Booker. Outside of that, I'm not messing with anyone, not with this big three back. I got to see how the rotations shake out, how everything looks for them over here before I even ride or even want to mess with anyone else over here for them. Cleveland taking on Portland. We already know Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley. Both of these guys are in prime position spots. No Garland. We've seen this already with Garland missing a couple of games. Karis LeVert should be slid into the starting lineup. We know what he's going to go out there and produce. I don't mind coming out here and playing LeVert if I want to get a piece of the Cavs. But Donovan Mitchell, this is pretty much going to be his show. And he spoke out last game in regards to his poor play and how he has to bring it on a night in, night out basis. So I would expect a bounce back game for Donovan coming off of 37 fantasy points in that last game. So definitely would be a spot where you could possibly get a low on Donovan Mitchell in regards to what he's going to do, because I'm guaranteeing a lot of people are going to flock and go to the Karis LeVert, since he should be starting in the production that he's given whenever he actually is inside of the starting lineup. So definitely do not mind going to a Donovan Mitchell. Should be a decent spot. We have seen opposing guards and stuff have had really great games going up against Portland. We know that they're a young team, plays fast, not too much defense that we worry too much about. Outside of that, Evan Mobley, don't mind going to him as a possible decent spot. Should be able to go out there, have a decent game going up against Jeremy Grant and whoever they throw out there at the power forward position. Over here for Portland, not really too interested in anybody over here. Skylar Mays, way too expensive now for the production that he can give us. They did start Kamara last game. If they start him again, maybe you can take a stab there, put up 20 fantasy points in 26 minutes. So pay attention to that. If we actually get that news, that's a decent value option that you can go to at 3,800. So really would be interested to see if they start him again here, if we can actually kind of get that news earlier, or you just plan for it in regards to the later games. Going over to the Kings, taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. I love De'Aaron Fox here. Should be a spot where he can go out here and pop off. Do not mind either one of the big guys over here for the Kings in Fox or Sabonis. Either one of the guys are in really good spots. With Fox being back, not really too interested in any of the other bench guards or anything like that. You can always take a stab at Malik Monk, but not a must. Then over here for the Los Angeles Lakers, if LeBron James is going to be out, which looks like they updated him, he is questionable. If he is going to be out, then of course we're going to want to play Anthony Davis or D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, or Reddish. All these guys will be in consideration if Brown is out. If Brown is not out, then of course between him and AD, either one of these guys, decent spot, decent position. Don't mind paying up for either one of them. I was really on a lot of Bron props for today. Was really expecting him to play 39 minutes, dropped 56 fantasy points going up against them last game. Really do like the spot for LeBron James here, and then Anthony Davis last game going up against them. 42 minutes, dropped 65 fantasy points. So as you can see, if Brown misses, you're going to want to play Anthony Davis either way. All right, guys, that's going to be a breakdown. Hopefully I was able to give you guys some type of information, some content you could use. Hopefully you guys do cash out. If you're looking for my cheat sheet, my core, player props, things like that, check the link down in the description below for the Dub Club. Peace.